Good morning, guys, and welcome to the podcast. I'm really delighted about today's guest, Bill Douglas from Colorado. And he's got a fascinating story. He's dubbed the Resilience Guy, and he is with Optic Wise. But this conversation is more a story of resiliency, not living to work, but you incorporating work into your lifestyle to provide a means for your life. And I'm really happy to have him on. He's got a great story and happy to share with the audience. So Bill, welcome.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate being included.
Yeah. And briefly introduce yourself and we'll dive into the questions.
I'm Bill Douglas. I grew up in South Florida, went to Georgia Tech, moved to Denver, Colorado 28 years ago. I've been an entrepreneur formal full-time entrepreneur since I was 28.
Yeah.
And haven't had a W-2 job since. So I've had 6 different companies in my career. Yeah. Not all of them worked. So School of Hard Knocks, make sure of that. But I certainly enjoy working, but that's not who I am.
Yeah. I love that. I love how you talked about separating your work from your identity, because a lot of the audience, the listeners and viewers, they identify with their careers or how much they make or their net worth. What is the key mindset to divorce yourself from these myths? Because what's interesting is you said you're an entrepreneur, and a lot of people think not having a job is a bad thing, but actually for a lot of entrepreneurs, it's awesome for them. So how do you get rid of these shackles?
I think it's a matter of self-protection first. A company will take everything you give it. And even if it's my company, I'm not the only owner of Optic Wise, but I am an owner, and a job or a company will give it as much as you give it. So I encourage, and the people I coach, executives and entrepreneurs, start with no, and then get talked to the yes. Don't say yes everywhere. Because if you say yes to everything, you will be and have nothing. I'm not talking about money. You might have a lot of money. I've coached clients that earn $10 million a year that had a miserable life. They didn't even want to go home. They were terribly overweight and they had no energy and they had no relationship with their family. It's really sad, but they were crushing it in their business. And so you can do all of those. You can. It's a matter of balance. And I don't mean a work-life balance on, I respect the value of life itself. Yeah. And I was bit by a coral snake when I was 28 years old and almost died. And I came out of that saying life is a gift. I quit my job after that and started my first real company. I jumped out of airplanes. I proposed to my girlfriend. It changed my life having seen death, so to speak. And a lot of us go to work and wake up 30 years later. And I vowed that I would never do that, but we all do. I'm not going to say I never did it again. I've gone sideways, especially when the kids were in the grind of being 6 to 15. You just push, you're just trying to survive as much as you love them. It's a matter of self-preservation. I value relationships and people above money, and time goes right in that. So time is precious.
Wow.
I have every one of the businesses I run. If you work too much, I need to know, because there's something wrong here. And too much is defined specifically by the hours of your position. Or if you're getting calls when you're supposed to be off, there's something wrong. We all need time off. We all need time. Work is not our identity. We work to enable our life. That's my belief. And the people that work here, the people I work with through my whole career, believe the same thing. So it's nice. We recruit on culture, and everybody watches out for everybody else here.
Yeah. That's a great segue into this. So what's interesting is that you're the CEO of Optic Wise, and what does Optic Wise do, and how does it tie into the commercial real estate industry?
We do data and digital infrastructure services for large commercial real estate facilities. So think apartments and office buildings above 100,000 square feet. We run all of the networks, all of the data infrastructure, the data lakes, and we actually do machine learning and AI across the disparate data sources. So we endear tenants, we make buildings run better, we make more money for the clients, but we also make a better life or work situation for the tenants by leveraging technology. So commercial real estate's an old industry, and I've spent my career solving large problems. Engineering school taught me that. Georgia Tech taught me how to think, not just how to calculate engineering, but how to think with an engineering mindset. So it was a large problem I saw, and we took the company this direction 9 years ago, and it's been very successful since.
Yeah. The other question I have for you is this, because you're leveraging technology and data. And what do you mean by digital infrastructure in commercial real estate?
Hey, digital, and it's funny that you asked that. It's in the first section of the book. This book, Peak Property Performance, comes out next month by Fast Company. We had to define that. So digital infrastructure is first and foremost all the networks in a large building, any low voltage, whether it be fiber or copper, any of that in a building. It could be a physical system that's generating data or doing something, or it could be a virtual system, cloud-based or otherwise, per edge-based. So all of those systems that are used to operate a building are generating data. So where is that data and who controls it? And then also of the digital infrastructure, the physical assets, who owns them and who controls them. So to be able to use AI and machine learning and to generate business intelligence in commercial real estate, just like any other industry, you have to have the data. So our clients don't have the data, and we solve that problem for them. So we start to collect the data from all these disparate data sources, from all the vendors that they have chosen.
Yeah. And then talking about just people that embrace Optic Wise, how does a owner or investor operator, how can they get real actionable intelligence from all the noise and data across their portfolios and properties?
There is a lot of noise. Prop tech as an industry was oversold about 5 years ago, and there was a lot of applications that were valuable, but there wasn't much integration or connection of systems or sharing of data. So they have to take ownership of their data, even if contractually it is owned by the property. Realistically, where is it? How can I touch it? We do an audit of facilities very often to figure out who owns what and where is the data. And the vendor will say, yeah, it's your data. And we'll say, could you give us a sample set? And 2 weeks later, we'll get a sample set that's 2 weeks old. So it's basically useless. Like we want to be able to use data in almost real time to make, like, we connect, collect, and then control. So we have to coordinate the data and then control using the data, just talking between systems. So you have to have the data, and then you have to have algorithms to make sense of it.
Yeah. Another question I have for you is, why wouldn't a investor, owner, operator partner with just one big property management firm for all of their technology? Why Optic Wise?
Property managers are really good at managing properties. So that's going to mean staffing them. That's going to be leasing them up. That's going to be handling tenant complaints. Operating a digital infrastructure, operating technology, servers, switches, data lakes, whether it's virtual or physical, is a whole nother industry. So property management firms, while I love the big property management firms and any property management firm, we don't do property management. We do data and digital infrastructure. So why, Mr. Client, why would you think we could go staff your front office and lease it up? Why could we give you advice on how much that piece of property, the piece of dirt is worth that you're about to buy to build your next property? Property management companies do all of that, but they are not technical. So the building engineer often works on a property. The building engineer, he or she often works for a property manager. That building engineer is critical to keep the building running, but they're going to be the ones to know how to get water in and out of the property, how to handle the HVAC systems, how to handle the security system, right? They don't want to deal with anything network, anything data, anything with flashing lights and Cat 6 wires looking like a data center. We do. That's what we do. But at the same time, one of my engineers is not going to be able to go change the filter or sensor on a rooftop unit that's handling air for a large building. You can go big, but it's probably not the best. So a lot of the bigs often have relationships with companies that reward them. They compensate them for recommending them. So we encourage our clients to ask, do you have any incentive in this vendor you're recommending to me? Do you own it? Do you get commission from it? Even if you choose to do it, still you deserve to know it. But if you don't ask the question, you'll never know it. So we're not trying to replace property management. We work hand in hand with property management, but this industry, commercial real estate, doesn't have control of their data, and they don't have a unified digital infrastructure on most properties. The ones we operate, they do. We have some viable competitors out there. Those do. But the rest of the industry is just making it up as they go along. No documentation, right? There is no support. If that switch goes down in that closet and it's running these security cameras, who's going to fix it? I don't know. That was put in 7 years ago. So there's just no security cameras for a while. Who's going to fix it? The answer is somebody's going to come sell you a whole new system, and they don't need to. You could be monitoring it and know that the cameras are down and fix the switch. It doesn't have to be a big deal. So that's just one little example. That doesn't go to the operating expenses. But if you can keep insurance and utilities down, and you drastically reduce your operating expenses, and if you can provide services that tenants will actually pay you for, then you make more money while you're saving them money. Everybody wins.
Yeah. And you hinted on NOI, the net operating income, and how can technology drive NOI in commercial real estate?
Oh, you can, just like I said, you can do it one of two ways, or both, 3 ways, really, a combination of 2. You can increase the revenues. So everybody else, all other businesses call it net income, but in real estate, it's called net operating income, NOI. It's the same thing. So you can increase revenues and therefore get more income if you keep your expenses static, or you can reduce expenses, get more income if the revenues stay static, or you could do both and see you can double dip. So those are the 3 ways. So by increasing revenues, your tenants are buying technology services. Why aren't you selling them to them? Like, you can sell it to them under market in a way that you make money and they save money. Why wouldn't you do that? As far as operating expenses go, how can we help you reduce utilities and how can we help you reduce insurance? Those are the 2 big hits we go to first because they're almost guaranteed wins, but they take data and they take digital infrastructure to get the data. So that's why we go to those 2 things first.
Yeah. For a lot of the audience, they fear embracing technology. Why should they embrace the technology and pay attention to technology in their portfolio?
You mean the commercial real estate audience?
Or just investors?
Investors, because it's telling you a lot of things. Are you listening? Like, we use that a lot. Your building is talking, your portfolio is talking, your investments are talking. Are you listening? Like, why does one property do so much better than the other? What do these have in common? What do they not have in common? You can solve that by using AI and machine learning. If you don't have control of your data and you're not monetizing your data, we say this all the time, then somebody else is. So why are you letting other vendors monetize your data? Like, you should, number one, protect it and control it, but you should monetize it. It is yours. And by data, I don't mean user data. Nothing we're talking about here has anything to do with any one person or anything one person did. This is data generated by systems that are owned, physical systems that are owned by the property. So it's operating data of an asset. It's not personal data.
Interesting.
So you have to embrace technology. If you don't, then your competitors already are, and they will be way ahead of you.
Yeah, interesting. We're towards the tail end, and it's so interesting to hear about Optic Wise and data technology. One final question around this is, where do you see artificial intelligence playing a role in Optic Wise?
We use it for almost everything except for chatbots. We actually have humans that answer the phone to do support 24/7. I don't want to replace that because a lot of the solutions we have are custom to that property, and I don't think a chatbot could replace them, and nobody wants to talk to a chatbot. But we use AI to streamline almost everything, whether that be monitoring, whether that be reporting, whether that be genuine problem solving. We definitely use it in the design and the implementation process. And it's a matter of freeing up the time of our team members so that they could be more effective in what they do. We're not replacing a single person. We're just making them that much more efficient and effective. So the designs are better. They're more in tune. We have more time to listen and discuss with customers about what are you trying to do with this property besides just make money. Of course, you want to make money, but most owners have a vision for that property, and we want to help them reach that vision. We have to take the time to listen and understand it. That's the key thing we do with AI. And internally, we only use AI if it betters somebody's life. We don't use it just to make money. The business makes money and our clients make money. We use AI to make us a better company and help people.
Yeah. And switching gears, you've got a engineering degree and you started multiple businesses. What drew you to commercial real estate, and where do you see the field headed in kind of this uncertain market? And talk about just pivoting, the career pivot.
The career pivot came when I exited a business in 2015, and I always coach on the side. I think I have resilienceguy.com. It's my coaching business. And in between businesses, I was figuring out what to do with my next one. I took some coaching clients, and one of them was Optic Wise. And I did a go-to-market plan and some organizational structure work for them. And Drew Hall, the founder, said, I'm the technician. I don't do all of this. Do you want to do it? And I'm fast forwarding, but this was a 3-month engagement. And I had known Drew for some time before that anyway. So there was a trust factor involved. And I said, absolutely, I do want to do it. And what drew me to commercial real estate was, number one, it was old. Technology-wise, it was old. I don't mean people. I don't mean buildings. I just mean it was lagging versus other industries' adoption rate of technology. It's the largest asset class in the world. It's not a security risk. There was recurring revenue around the business model that we had built. And all of those were attractive to me. So I don't want to sell one and be done. I want to be in a business building relationship with clients. And that's how I've made a career.
Yeah, interesting. Final thoughts for the entrepreneurs listening. Talk about how fitness, resiliency, and how you can go from working in your business to working on your business.
I learned a lesson once. I had a ski accident. I couldn't work for 3 months. I was paralyzed for a few days. This is after the Snakebite. It's 20 years later. I went back to work in a company that I owned and was running 3 months later, and it had grown over 20%, almost 25%. And the joke was I was in the way. That my employees actually said, can you come in just on Wednesdays? And could you just spend the rest of the time talking to customers? Because that's what they thought I was good at. And they had grown the business without me. So I went and did that. And I realized I was micromanaging. I restructured the way I run my companies as an entrepreneur. And I have 5 questions. And if the answer to all 5 of those questions is yes, you're free to do anything you want that you choose is best. You will never be terminated. You'll never be reprimanded for doing that. 15 years ago, I weighed 171 pounds. I've had multiple sclerosis for 30 years, and it was getting the better of me. I was working too much. I was way out of shape. I was 55 pounds lighter than I am now, and I'm 230 pounds at 9% body fat. I like to stay super fit. I'm active. I have control of that. And I stopped all of the multiple sclerosis medicine and focused on me. And then when I got healthy, the business got healthy. It's almost linear. Like, you don't have to be super crazy about it, but if you're out of shape, the business probably is, and vice versa. They go hand in hand. Even if the business is healthy, your mental state is out of shape. There's 3 legs to that stool: physical, mental, and money, and then time. So maybe there's 4 legs. So I just learned that to me was more important. And I started being a person first and treating people like they were people first, being very transparent. If everybody makes mistakes, our business makes mistakes, we'll own them. We're accountable for it. Let's fix them and move forward. And life got a lot less stressful. And we have enjoyed we collectively, in multiple companies I've done this since I changed my philosophy, have become very successful. Like, just being transparent and I believe that time is worth more than anything. Experiences are worth more than things. And I don't work for the money. I work because I love it. And the money enables my lifestyle. I work so that I can live the life I want. I like to travel. I like to go to live music. I like to spend time on hikes with people I know and can trust and love. So that to me is important. I'm not saying it has to be for everybody. I structure my calendar. I protect my calendar. I start with no. I treasure clients, don't get me wrong, but I don't let every prospect dominate my calendar. We're probably going to lose a prospect if I have to take the meeting tomorrow. I'm probably going to lose the prospect. If it's that urgent, I don't know if we could fix it anyway. So self-preservation is respected. I used to think that if I didn't give everything to the company, that clients wouldn't respect me. And it's the opposite. The fact that I take care of myself first, the clients respect me. They respect me more. And we have customers that believe the same thing. We attracted customers that feel the same way, that treat their people above their profit. Life's a gift, and we're all people, and we're social creatures. So we don't have to make this so hard. Yeah, I'm greatly simplifying, but School of Hard Knocks has hit me 3 hard times in my life. And that's how I got the Resilience Guy name. I keep bouncing back. They come in 3s. So I think I'm done as far as the hard knocks go. Yeah. My story.
What an inspiring conversation. And I really enjoyed talking with you. If the audience is inspired and want to contact you, check out your book, connect with you, learn from you, how can they do that?
The company is opticwise.com, like you see it there. The book is Peak Property Performance. It's also .com. It's available June 24th of 2025. You can buy that. But I'm on LinkedIn. It's pretty easy to find me. I'm the only Bill Douglas that says resilience guy in the middle. I do answer my own emails. You can message me through LinkedIn or send me an email. I'd love connecting with people. If I could help anybody that's listening, please reach out. I'm not going to sell you anything. If I could help you, let me know. We all need help at times. Lord knows I've needed it.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. I really enjoyed talking with you.
All right. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.